science in sufficient economy theory, impacts on agriculture, food security, and environment. For this second session, I would like to introduce Assistant Professor Rawiwong as the second speaker for today's lectures. Professor Rawiwong is an engineering consultant at the Chaipattana Foundation, the organization that founded by His Majesty the King, and he is an advisory board at Suvarnabhumi Institute of Technology and a fellow industrial engineer at the Council of Engineers of Thailand. Number of his research was selected by the international publication, for example, Journal of Advanced Manufacturing Technology and International Journal of Computers and Industrial Engineering. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Assistant Professor Rawiwong and his lecture, Self-Sufficiency, Economy Theory and Practice for Sustainable Development.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is always nice to be back here once again at Mahidol University. And it is my honor to present you a lecture titled Self-Sufficiency, Economy, the Theory and Practice for Sustainable Development. First of all, let me introduce you a little bit on the Chaipattana Foundation. Chaipattana Foundation is a not-for-profit organization initiated by His Majesty King Rawin 25 years back. Right now, we're 25 years old. So, 25 years old would be like a lot of energy. You can remember when you were like 25 years old, right? You have a lot of energy, you want to do something, you want to change something. And that we are right now. The idea of founding the Chaipattana Foundation is that His Majesty had the idea that the current situation at that time, works done by the government, I think it's the same for all government over the world, was very slow. And all the project, the royal project, all the things that benefit to Thai people was carried out very slowly. So initiate the idea of setting up the organization that works like a private sector, that can carry out the idea, that can make things very fast. So that's why he set up the Chaipattana Foundation. This year is 25 years for Chaipattana Foundation, and we have a lot of projects, a lot of accomplishment. What I will be sharing with you is just one example of the project. And I think it is very good for you that you have a chance to visit one of our projects in this course of your stay here. What I'll be talking, we will talk about the sustainable development and put you into a theory of the self-sufficiency theory, which is we have 3 pillars and 2 conditions. And then I'll give you some example of how we apply the self-sufficiency economy in one of the Chaipattana Foundation's project in the north of the country, Chiang Rai. Now let me start with the word sustainability. What comes into your mind when we say sustainability, sustainable development, or whatever that is hot issues today? What comes into your mind? Some people come up with some kind of tools, some kind of policy, some kind of anything, environment, resource, scarcity, or whatever. But what is the real sustainability? To me, sustainability is simply what we have today, and our next generation, our daughter, son, granddaughter, will have the same. If we can smile today, in the near future or in the far future, our next generation can also smile. If you cry today, the next generation should not cry, right? They should be smiling, they should be happy, and that's the sustainable. All kind of generations, they will be happy with what we have now and what will be better in the future. So to me, sustainability, sustainable development, we have the same bottom line, happiness and wealth. Wealth is not in terms of money. Wealth is something that you have in through your own mind, that you are happy, you're full of happiness, full of virtue, full of integrity, full of smile. And that's what I said. It is sustainability. To put it into some kind of theory, if you put the sustainability, sustainable development, put it into the Google, put it into the Wikipedia, you get this kind of pictures. Say like we have 3 circles: social aspect, the environment aspect, and the economic aspect. They overlap with each other to create the sustainable development. This is a pure theory. Theory says you have to have these 3 elements to become a sustainable development. From social aspect, the goals for social aspect is human well-being, your health, both physically, mentally, spiritually, would be well-being. Better quality of life, you have clean water, clean air, food, and everything you need to make yourself happy. And equitable access. Access to services by the government, access to anything that all other community or other people have to access. So this is equitable. From the economic aspect, the sustainable development says that what is the economic goals for sustainable development? Growth in income. Money is not everything, but money is something. Money is not the entire life, it's not the entire things in the world, but money is also important. So growth in income is one of the goals in economy, sustainable development. And also employment. As you know, employment results in money, results in better security, in social, in family, in anything. So the bottom line would be like growth in income and employment. And also the new economic activities. If you are an economic student, you know that one economic activity, you come up with another activity, and that will enlarge the GDP and then enlarge all the income for the whole society. The other aspect is the environmental aspect. Reduce the environmental risk, reduce the ecological scarcity, which is very tough. And the very hot issue right now is the low carbon society. These all combined are the measures of the sustainable development. This is pure theory. Now, if you look at the current situation, you know this cat, right? It's probably one of the most famous cats in the world, right? Tom, you know Tom, right? And the other 2 probably came from Japan. It's the Rawiwong, right? You know the Rawiwong? And the last one? Anybody has, I guess you have one of its characters. Hello Kitty, right? You know why Hello Kitty is so popular? You know? Why? Because she has no mouth. Ladies, right? Ladies, if the ladies has no mouth, it's always very popular, right? Because they keep chat. Now, when we look at sustainable development, we have to look against time. From where we are now to what we are in the future, we also have change. Change in the technology, like you have iPad, iPod, something, ABC, by everything. Economy change, oil price, gold price, stock price, interest, everything change. Political and social change, social and cultural change. The difficulty is that how can we groom these little cat and mouse so they can chasing each other when they grow up. They can still chasing each other when they grow up. Not just lie in bed in hospital, not just become hungry, not just sitting down, waiting, hoping for nothing. When we talk about sustainable development, time is a factor. Because time change, everything changes. How can we work out? With time and change. How can we teach our kids about technology change, which sometimes it comes with something that is not good for our kids. How can we cope with the economy? They change rapidly, globalization, the money issues all around the world. How can we cope with the change in political and also the social change, cultural change? That's a challenge for us, for all the people who want to become people involved in sustainable development. Now, back into Thailand. We have a tool. It's just a one tool towards this sustainable development. It is a self-sufficiency economy. Self-sufficiency economy. It is initiated by Sufficiency back in the 1970s. So it's like 30, 40 years. It is based on the fundamental of Thai culture. What is the fundamental of Thai culture? Smile. They smile all the time. When they smile, what does it mean? They're happy, right? Thai people love happiness, want to be happy. They don't want to be in a stressful position. They don't want to be in some things that push them very hard. When Thai people, our fundamental of our culture is happiness. How to make them happy? How to make them happy? Back to the basics. Look at what we make. They're happy. We're happy because what? We have food. We have accommodation. We have good health. We have knowledge. We have spiritual, something spiritual. And that's the fundamental of Thai culture. Self-sufficiency economy was developed based on such culture. It is a balancing between the local way of life and globalization. How can we balance? How do you keep it local? And how can you deal with the change in the global arena? This is very challenging. And self-sufficiency economy will probably is the answer for Thai society. In theory, we have 3 pillars and 2 conditions, as I mentioned earlier. This is a theory. 3 pillars, 2 conditions. And the importance of the self-sufficiency economy is that it can be applicable to all sectors, not just the agricultural sector. It can be applied to the industrial sector, it can be applied to management sectors. I'll show you in our case study that how can we apply the self-sufficiency economy in management. This is the theory of the self-sufficiency economy. We have 3 pillars. 3 pillars of self-sufficiency economy is the moderation, reasonableness, and risk management. Moderation, reasonableness, risk management. These 3 are key elements, or the pillars of the self-sufficiency economy. But when you apply self-sufficiency economy, when you apply these three aspects, you have to do it based on the knowledge and the virtue. Based on the knowledge and based on the virtue. Then, by applying these three pillars and two conditions, you get your life and economy and the social of the balance, stable, and sustained. Moderation. What is moderation? Moderation is just the middle path. In Buddhist, we use the middle path. Not too much, not too few. Just something, just enough. Just in the middle. Just the middle path. Not too many, not too few. We do this by reduce unnecessary expenses. Before you can do this, you have to know what is your income, what is the expenses. And then you do it by reduce the necessary expenses. Expenses is not just the money alone. It's just something that is not necessary for your business, not necessary for your operation. That can convert into money. That's our expense. What the moderation said is that try to reduce the unnecessary expenses and gradually increase income. Everybody knows the profit equation, right? When you have a profit comes from revenue minus cost. If you can increase revenue, reduce cost, you get more profit. It's just simple as that. Gradually increase income. And you develop from inside out. What does it mean by inside out? From yourself, from your neighborhood, from your community. Start small. And then just keep walking, keep doing good things. And the result will expand. You can expand it to your community, you can expand it to your local government. And then when you start from inside out, start from small, you can get the power of and the momentum of the starting point. The second pillar is the reasonableness. What is the reasonableness? You pay something, you give money for something. You have to have a reason to support why you have spent this type of money. Self-sufficiency economy doesn't mean that you cannot buy Lexus, you cannot buy Rolls Royce. But you have a solid reason to buy Lexus, to buy Rolls Royce. If you have money, if you have need, real need, for Lexus, for Rolls Royce, go and get it. So, in reasonableness, we use the word fact-based decision making. We make a decision based on fact, based on data, based on information that we have. These key elements start with the information you have. If you have good information, if you have good data, your decision is also good. But if you have poor information, poor data, wrong information, you cannot do the reasonableness because your decision is based on your bad information. Compromise. Sometimes you do something good, you believe that this is good, but you have to trade off with other things. Self-sufficiency economy asks you to be a compromise. We compromise. You have to negotiate. You have to balance between your needs, others, just for the benefit of the majority. This is a reasonableness. The last pillar is risk management. Everybody knows about the risk and how to manage it. What looks in the self-sufficiency economy is we have to create what we call the immune system. Immune system. Look at yourself when you get cold. Your body tries to develop something to fight the cold. it is always better that you probably make yourself strong enough so cold will not catch you. So this is the meaning of risk management. It's self-sufficiency economy. Develop your immune system. How come? First of all, you have to make yourself strong. You have to have knowledge. You have to have experience in what you're doing. You have to have friends. You have to have your kind of community that when you need help, they will come and help you. So this is the immune system. So they come with the community involvement. Community will support you when you fall. Community will help you when you need. That's why you cannot live in community. You cannot live alone. You cannot just be good on yourself alone. You need your community. You need your friends. And in practice, His Majesty applied the 3 pillars and 2 conditions on what we call the new theory. The new theory. It's just about the agricultural farm demonstration farm. The new theory is just we divided the new theory into 3 phases. The first phase is to implementation to the production. We start with advising, experimenting, and then we try to get a small success by implementing something that we invented, getting the result, and then use it as a momentum toward the second phase. Sure, we need support from outside. This is the risk management. We don't know everything, but you need some outside expert to help you, to work with you to get a result. The second phase is the expansion and put the marketing into operation. When you get a small success, the first success, you ask for joining forces, engineering people, marketing people, design people, sales people. They come and put the local production into the industrial scale. You put it into the marketing, you put the marketing people in, you create the channel of distribution, you advertise, you do all kinds of marketing activities. And then the result will be the better living condition of the people. The third phase is the advancement processing and adding value. The cooperation, the capital will come in this phase. And then you get a better quality of life, and that go through the sustainable development. His Majesty applied the self-sufficiency theory into the demonstration farm all over Thailand. We have at least 6 comprehensive demonstration farms on the new on the self-sufficiency of economy application. 6 demonstration farms. They'll show you how to use the plot of land, how to manage water, how to do crop selection, and also to the post-harvest activities. And if you have the time, I would encourage you to go and visit some of our facilities and demonstrate the application of new theory. Let me show you one example of how we put self-sufficiency economy into practice. One of our projects in Mesai, Shinrai province, the northwest point of the country. Over there, we set up the tea oil and plant oil development center. It's just just 3 years old. We set it up for like 3 years back. The idea of creating this comes from back 10, 20 years. When we go up to the north of Thailand, we have the hills, we have mountains, and we have problems. Problems on that is about the forest. People there, they didn't take good care of the forest. What they do for a living is just going from place to place, moving from place to place, and destroy the forest for some crop, like corn or whatever, or rice or whatever. And if you look at this in the early 2006, this area, the soil in this area is useless. The villagers come, they plant crops, they harvest, and then they leave. They just leave, going to somewhere else and do the same thing once again. How can we rebuild the forest? How can we rebuild the mountain? We have to know the geological, we have to know the social aspect of the area. The mountain, we cannot grow rice on the mountain effectively. There would be some plants that can grow on the mountain and generate income sufficient for the villagers, so they can take care of the plants. They can have a good quality of life in the hill. They can share their knowledge to other villagers. And all in all, they have this kind of asset through generations. The kids, grandkids, we also have this asset, have this tree. Then, back in 2006, Her Royal Highness, Princess Sriton, she went to China. She came up with the idea of the tea oil plant. The tea oil plant is one kind of tea, but it's not a drinking tea. It is a tea that grow a seed, and then you use the seed, the kernels, to make the oil. This is a tea oil plant. It looks similar to the drinking tea, but we didn't use the leaves. We use the kernel, the nuts inside this red fruit here. This is Camellia oleifera. Some of you may have heard about this. This is Camellia oleifera. Why? Why Camellia oleifera? This plant is an alien for Thailand because we had never had this kind of plant before. We also have some kind of camellia in Thailand. Camellia japonica. Yeah, the name suggests it comes from Japan. That's why they call it Camellia japonica. We have Camellia sinensis, which is a drinking tea. But we don't have the Camellia oleifera because it is like a pandas of China. They think this is a natural asset. They don't give it to other people. But our princess, she just asked for a sample of the Camellia oleifera, and she wants to do some kind of research in Thailand if it works in Thailand, if Thailand can grow this kind of plants. So we got a cooperation from the Chinese government. We got some plants, and then we planted in The first phase of implementation starts with Her Royal Highness. She researched it herself. She put her effort trying to see if it works for her people in Thailand, in the north, where the soil is also bad, also destroyed. We tested in the 1,000-meter elevator. And the nature of the candidate referral is that before you get the result, it takes you at least 5 to 7 years. 5 to 7 years to get the fruit. And what will the people do during the 5 to 7 years? We have to create some kind of activities for them before they can harvest the tea oil fruit. We went up there and teach people how to do how to take care of the tea oil. At the same time, we teach them how to grow other plants while waiting for the tea oil fruit. We work hard with the Chinese government to build the activities on the villages up here. We also have other plans for them, like rice, the rice that can grow at a high elevator. We have corn. We have nitrogen. We have all kinds of plants that can help the farmers while they're waiting for the tea oil to generate the fruit. We work on the experimenting on that. At the same time, we cooperate with the university to set up the research team to check whether we have good soil, we have a good quality of the oil, we have a good climate for tea oil plants. We got the support from the outside, the Chinese government, the Rawiwong Foundation. Rawiwong Foundation is famous for activities in the north and in the hills, so they're good at it. So we work with them. We have the Ministry of Agriculture coming. We have university coming, like Rawiwong and Prince of Songkla University. They come together and set up the research team. First, we start with research, and then getting the result. 3 years from that, we can get some of the fruit, the tea oil seed, and then we start to cold press them. And it is very nice that the result that the oil that we extract from our crop is a very good oil. It's comparable to the one that came from China. The first phase ending with the oil. Now we know that we can get the oil, the tea seed oil. The second phase comes. There are the parties that are outside support coming. Ksesat University, Mahidol University, and the local community, the Mesai Municipal, Vietnam Municipal, they come to help us create the pilot plant. And this is a new concept of a pilot plant. We build it like a resort. You don't think this is going to be a plant. We have all kinds of machines in here, in this type of building. Then we start to develop our own brand. Malaysia brand. We have a Pat brand. Pat is the brand for Chaipattana product. We have marketing people coming. We have the pilot plant factory to manufacture tea oil. And then on the 6th year, we have people from the plantation, the village up hills, come to visit our factory. And then they come up with the wonderful experience. They didn't know that the GC, that the plant, the fundamental plant, will come up with the good quality oil for people around the country. And we go up to the hills again. We found that the living condition is getting better. They have more money, they have more employment, they have better health care, have better health. And we're thinking that we are going to have another success on the second phase of the self-sufficiency economy. Then, what we are doing right now is on the third phase. We build not only the factory, we also build some kind of business that support the factory. We have a restaurant, a very nice restaurant there. We have a retail store on facility. We have a park that people can come and do the exercise every evening. And the quality of life of the people at SI district and also at the up hills, they're getting better significantly. We go up there 3-4 times a year, talking to the villagers, asking for their feedback, and we got a very, very positive feedback. They're happy with this, and they look forward to the next harvesting season, which will be around August and September. Then we got the forest back. This is a forest full of tea oil plant. And this will last hundreds of years. The tea oil plants, you invest for it like 5 to 7 years to get the fruit. And this tea oil tree will last for at least 120 years. So that means that the next generation of the villagers, they can still benefit from the tea oil fruit. This is another key element for sustainable development. This is the pictures of our tea oil plant oil development center. We also have the exhibition section. We also have large ponds and large park. So it's a resort-like facility. In the factory area, we open to the public, so you can walk around and observe our engineers, our technicians extracting oil. Actually, we plan our visitors and go inside and look closely with the machines. But with the restriction on the GMP, good quality, and good manufacturing practice, the HACCP, we cannot do that. But we open to all the public. You can see through the mirror, you can see through the board that what the machines are doing, what the technicians are doing. We also have a lab for quality control in there. So just to make sure that all the bottles of oil that come from us, we have a good and acceptable qualities. Our main product is oil, because the Royal Highness intended to make oil. But the goal for this development center is to be self-sustained. We invest like 100 million baht on the facility, and one day it has to be break even. That's why we set up a business unit. We research and develop a line of product. We use the tea oil because it's a core business to make a tea oil. We use the tea oil into the cosmetic products. We have body oil, body lotion, and soap. A bar soap. A bar soap we get it from the process. We got glycerin from the process. Since the tea oil is a seasonal crop, we have to think about other plants oil to keep the factory running all year round. We come up with moringa, we come up with niger seed, sunflower seed, all kind of seed that can yield oil. So we plan that the factory has to operate all year round. So we have to have different type of plant oil to come into the process. Apart from the product, the oil, the cosmetic product, we also set up a restaurant. It's a very nice restaurant there. We have a menu that uses tea oil as an ingredient. We have like fried rice, or even strawberry. We got strawberry from our farm in another Chaipattana project. So we try to invent a new recipe of strawberry. This is a very new recipe, strawberry sorbet. We use all kind of all strawberry. This is pure strawberry, frozen strawberry, and then we just put it into a shaker, and then come up with all kind of strawberry chunk in this one glass. We do this because we want to look for some profit to sustain our operation. We are not-for-profit organization, not-for-profit, not a non-profit. Not-for-profit that we are still looking for profit, but it's not a major concern. We need profit to sustain ourselves, but we don't need a profit to be millionaires or something. Then, we use the self-sufficiency economy in management of the tea oil center. Our business concept is clear. We know we start with the same concept as similar to another business concept Rawiwong, profit. Right? When you set up business, what you want is profit. The equation of profit is revenue minus cost. Revenue, from our standpoint, is either tangible or intangible. Tangible is just money, you know that. Intangible revenue is what? It's smile, it's happiness for visitors, it's just happiness for our employee, it's happiness for everyone in the organization. We call it, this is revenue. That's what we get from what we are doing. We call it revenue. It's not necessarily money. And cost, sure. Our cost component is expenses, which is money that we spend out, and the learning. The learning is at cost. Sometimes we do mistake, this equation, with this profit equation, we come up with the idea of our loss is our gain. We lost something, but we gained something. We lost money, but we gained knowledge. We lost money, we gained happiness. We lost money, we can see our friends, our visitors, our people happy. This is our gain. And another concept is, I don't know if you understand this or not, but this is a Chinese way of doing business. More profit, less profit. Less profit, more profit. You can think about it and probably overnight and come up with the answer. More profit, less profit. If you want more profit, you will get less profit. But if you want less profit, you get more profit. This is a philosophy for Chinese daily business. Keep compiling small amount of profit, and then they will get bigger and bigger. But if you want more profit up front, in the long term, you get less profit. At the TOI Development Center, we put value before profit. Put value before profit. What is value? Value is benefit that we deliver to our customers, to our visitors, to our staff. This is value. So we spend millions of baht just to make this happen. And you can ask me, when will we break even? It is very challenging that we will try to get break even within 10 years from now. It is kind of philosophy. Normal business should look at the break even around 5 to 8 years. But we think within 10 years we can get break even. We can wait. Everything can wait in our philosophy. But we wait in exchange of value we will get. For moderation, we do the resource visualization and sharing. There are 3 or 4 Chaipattana projects in Chiang Rai. And what equipment, what staff we can share, we share. These are the key things that we can, and the resource visualization, the sharing, can keep our costs, running costs low. We buy local. We buy from our Chiang Rai or Westside outlet. No need to buy it from Bangkok. We pay it probably a little bit, 10-15% more. But we get happiness, we get friends in the neighborhood. So that we think that would be our moderation way of doing business. We keep walking. We're not running. We don't run, but we keep walking. Why? Because TOI is very new in Thailand. I think it will be like a small group of people knows about the TOI. That's why we have to keep walking. We cannot run at this time. But when the time comes, we probably started to run. But before we run, we have to make sure that we can walk steadily. For reasonableness, our center is research oriented. We manufacture based on the research. We communicate with our visitor, with our customer, with supported information from research. That's why we're quite sure that the information, the product that we deliver to our customers is good, it's better for them, because we have information support on that. We use a fact-based decision making. As I mentioned earlier, we make a decision based on fact. if we have this kind of fact, we should make a decision this way, that way. So we use it in manufacturing, in finance, in everything. The project director will not make a decision if you don't have enough information to support it. And risk management, we develop our monitoring system. We have a team to go out and talk with the villagers. We have a customer relation team to communicate with people who buy a product. And also we develop a good neighborhood, the Mesai Municipal, province of Chiang Rai, and all with our friends from China. We develop a strategic alliance with bottle manufacturers, all the universities, faculty members who can support our operations. We do that. And our knowledge and virtue. We emphasize on the HRD program, Human Resource Development Program, because we believe that people is our immune system. You have good people, you will be a strong organization. You get a good job, customers will be happy with what you do. We invest on the IT system to reduce some paperwork, to reduce communication, reduce traveling costs. And also we have a good response on customer service. If there's a complaint from customer on our product, they'll get a replacement right away. If you buy a bottle of tea oil and you say you feel that the smell is not good, you return it back to us, you get a new bottle sent to you with probably with some kind of gift as well. This is what we do management in our TI development center. So self-sufficiency company is not just a practice in operation, but you can apply it to management in every business you are in. And the next step, I would recommend you to go through this website, get more information about the self-sufficiency of the economy, to get to know more about our TI Center. We have Facebook, and to learn more about the activities of Chaipattana project. And then I would recommend that you go and visit some of our demonstration sites. I hope you can go up north in the near future. And we are more than willing to meet and greet you in Chiang Rai, in our facility. And then when you're back to your home country, I hope you have a time to sit down, review, and do something good, not only for your people, not only for your country, but for the entire world. And that would be the end of my presentation. We have time to take a question if you have, please. Okay, if you don't have any question, I would like to have something to share with the last session with the Professor Lai. One friend from Indonesia, you asked for the large company, right? They kind of have, they play the roles in destroying the forest or something. We at Chaipattana, what we did with that kind of situation, just want to share with you. That we bring that company, we partner with that company and bring them into action. So if you want to get through this resource that you get into the area, what is your interest? And if it matches with our interest, we come and work as a partner. That's what we did at Chaipattana Foundation. As you know, the CP is a very large company in Thailand. Right? It's agriculture tycoon in Thailand. So we work with CP on some of the similar issues that we mentioned. And it works well. Just, if they're a good company, if they're a good company, we take it at the first time and then we work together. Yes?
I also would like to make a little comment. In that case,
Yes.
it's the crop. So you divide the partnership
Right.
or but in the case of what will happen, you will not get.
Okay, because hornbill cannot survive in the, in those cash crop, like oil palm or rubber plantation, no. But now they're also in the south, in rubber plantation. Now they have a new concept. They bring the forest, allow the way they plant, and then they allow the tree grow up, among the row of the rubber tree. So that's possible. But of course, in that case, it cannot be grow up into a big tree because hornbill live in pristine primary forest. You can see that it needs more than 100 centimeter diameter of tree for nesting, right? So in that case, for other bird or animal, small one, it's okay. And but we have to stop. Actually, we have to stop those capitalists, that they support in forest destruction. But they are in big pieces. Because if you have fragmented, the biodiversity will be, decreased or gone. And you know what? It might create another problem. Why? Because those generalists like rat or wild pig will, reproduce a lot, will become abundant, and then, it come in chain, because rat also a reservoir host for many kind of disease. So then the zoonosis will come because it get contact. Because I have a postdoc that worked with me in southern Thailand, and he trapped the rat, and now he found that there are more rat in rubber plantation than in the forest. So you have to think about this, that the consequence of forest destruction. Yes, if you think in terms of the economy, that's another story. But you're supposed to keep or to conserve the pristine, the primary, the healthy forest, sufficient to, for sustainable of the livelihood of our people in that case. So that's why I say that hornbill is the one that help generate the forest, help growing the forest. You see, if human growing, it's just a few species that can survive in those destroyed land with the very, very limited diversity of plants that can grow, right? But in the forest, if you do not touch it anymore, it will become, getting bad. different point of view, different context. Okay?
That's why research has to come in place. Researcher has to come and then generate the knowledge for companies and for the people, for social as a whole. Because if you do something without the knowledge, you probably go into the wrong way. And that's not be good for the entire community. Okay, yes.
Just wonder that you can apply this principle to the, for example, science in sufficient education, something like that. Is there anything like sufficient education or education never been sufficient, something like that?
Yes, I totally agree with you that education is never been sufficient. You have to compete. I mean, in education, you have to compete with each other academically, not try to compete, not try to kill other opponents, but try to be better and better and better. That's my opinion. But the three pillars is still applicable in certain degree. Moderation is probably not applicable, but you have to go compete and go. The reasonableness. That's why all the education will be based on research. I think you have to have fact, you have to decide on fact, and that will be some application from the self-sufficiency of economy. And also you have to have risk management by creating networking, especially international networking. Right? Networking is actually just a new system. You do this kind of research, you teach this topic,